Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be my review for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 2, Episode 10. You know what? They started off with really nothing. It was actually Ray J, Willie, and Rich Dollars actually all together talking about relationships and relationships problems and all of that. Basically, everybody actually is in a relationship except for Ray J. Ray J is single and stupid, so child, that wasn't nothing but a waste of time, waste of airtime. Next, we actually see Fizz and Moniece, and they're going through this whole thing. She literally wants, uh, Fizz wants to meet with Rich. Just ridiculous. Them two are ridiculous. But he wants to meet with Rich, and I'm like, I don't think you really want to be playing around with Rich like that because he's not gonna play with you. And sure enough, um, Moniece ends up later on in the program telling Rich, yeah, I want you to meet with my baby's daddy and this, that, thing, and the other. And Rich was telling her, look, I'm not sitting around explaining myself to the man. I'm not getting ready to play this game. I've made all kind of allowances for you. I done met with your mammy and this, that, thing, and the other, and I've done all that. But about sitting up with another man talking shit to me, not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If it try to go down, he's like, I'm going to sit. But if it get to going left, we're going to have a problem. And she basically will tell Rich, if it becomes a problem, then the relationship's over. He's like, well, we could just end it. And I'm laughing, saying, girl, are you serious when I'm trying to give him ultimatums? Rich will cut you off like an old leaky faucet. You better go sit down somewhere. And the little girl's, she's really delusional. She really is. It doesn't make any sense. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, so, like I said, later on we actually see them. Basically, Rich sits down with Fizz and basically warned him from the door, don't go left with me with this because it's not going to be cute because I'm not going to play with you. I don't care nothing about what you've seen on the internet. I don't care nothing about what you think you know about me. I'm not that dude and I ain't got no games to play with you. And he was done with it. He said what he had to say, and I was there for it. I was like, Rich, that's what's up. So he basically went with that, and then he told him, and he went on, he let Fizz talk, and Fizz really did keep it cute, because he knew. I mean, he's standing up next to Rich. Rich is all of 6 foot something, and Fizz is all of midget status. So he already knew, like, child, if you don't want to catch 5 fingers smack in the mouth, honey, just shut up. It was just stupid. The whole thing was stupid. He's not going to misuse your son. He ain't even trying to be bothered with your son. Ain't nobody trying to play daddy to your little boy, including you. So just shut up and get out of here. So that was enough. I had enough of that bullshit anyway. But yeah, Moniece is real stupid sitting around playing games with Rich, trying to give him ultimatums and carry him on. She'll be single soon. Well, she ended up being single because they sure ain't together now. Since this has been recorded and all that, there's no relationship. So we see how that went. Anyway, moving on. Miles and Milan. Child. You see these two meet up at the beach, getting on my damn nerves with their nothing ass goddamn storyline. And they basically haven't spoken since Miles was thrown out of the apartment by Milan and all of this kind of carrying on. They sat there on the beach and they made up. Milan just was whining and complaining and being aggravating as shit. And now it's this whole thing. He wants to meet. Well, Miles' family wants to meet with Milan. Foolishness. The family knows that they don't really agree with the whole lifestyle of it all. What is all this? This is all a bunch of bullshit that they're all cooking up. And it's just ridiculous. Why? And I'm going to tell you what else that I'm really, really, really sick of. These little PSAs that they're having about coming out and carrying on. I'm sick of them. And I'm gay. And I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. Every episode, we got 2 or 3 PSAs about, stop it. It's just too much. It's too much and it's aggravating. Moving on. And I told you I was tired of seeing them in that damn way. Let's see. Nikki. Nikki and Fizz meet up, and he's asking her about being in his video. And as soon as you get to him and his uh, confessionals, motherfucker looks like a goddamn pervert. Yeah, Nick, baby, yeah. Just like I could just imagine. Give him 5 more years, he's gonna be like a dirty old man. He, he gives me pervert too. Saying I ain't with it. And yeah, mm-mm, mm. I just I ain't got it to do anyway. But he wants her to be in his video. Something about some lotion, good lotion or whatever. And he tells her, the whole thing is about, it was inspired by me rubbing the good lotion all over you. And she was giving him, well, that's not going to happen because you giving me creepy tease. She was catching it. He was giving her creepy tease. Told her, you got to find somebody else to do that with. I ain't got time. I'm busy. I ain't got time for all that. In the meantime, between time, um, that Nikki, and I'm told that Nikki is shady, shady, shady. I'm so sick of her plastic, cheap, non-Mattel Barbie ass. She's sitting around talking about Tierra is selfish for having lipo. Really, Nikki? So she's like talking herself. We're literally watching her talking herself out of friendship with Tierra. She's basically throwing Tierra to the side and going with this Hazel thing. Her and Hazel both gonna be sorry. Because, Tierra ain't the best person. And she's done some things. And now she's getting paid back for the things that she's done. But they're going to get paid back for the things they're doing because they are not being fair to Tierra. They're not. Neither one of them. And Nikki's just shady. Nikki ain't a friend of nobody. She's shady. And, I always make the reference of Nikki being like Carly Red. I have to take that back because Carly Red is nowhere near as dirty as the non-Mattel Barbie doll. Not at all. Nikki is shady as a damn fig tree. And I just, when I see her on the screen, she gives me the willies. I ain't got her to do. But anyway, while her and Fizz is sitting up in the club, Fizz notices Shonda up in there twirling. And Nikki's like, oh yeah, and she been working with us, this, that, thing, and the other. So I'm like, I know this old talking ass freak is gonna go back and tell, right? So that was that. Later on, we see Omarion and April actually going to do a radio interview, and the funny thing is, Omarion is a short shit, okay? So you see him in April, and April looks like an Amazon standing next to Omarion. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, they sit in there, and the whole thing comes up about the fact that April actually did have she was working on a singing career, and basically her stuff has been put on the back burner while she supports Omarion. And seriously, how fair is that? How fair is that? So once they leave there, they start talking, and I'm looking at Omarion, and he's basically talking her down, telling her, "Oh, you need to be practicing and honing your craft and stuff." Basically, bitch, I'm important right now, and we ain't got time for you. You can just wait. And I just looked at it and I said, well, I hope she's actually paying attention because I was paying attention. He didn't think about her and her little singer career. Child, listen, me personally, y'all can do whatever y'all doing, but baby, I would not be following him out on the road and doing all that. I'd be somewhere trying to make news and twirl myself instead of sitting around because, baby, you're not getting any younger. And for a female artist, trust me, you ain't got time to sit around and be waiting on him to get into a slump before you start trying to do what you got to do. You already done had a baby. That's strike one. You gotta get on out there and open up your mouth and sing some shit and quit playing. But anyway, whatever. So I just looked at her. I said, that sounds like the beginning of the end too. But anyway, moving on. Hazel ends up meeting with Princess. Shady ass Hazel. Tell me why Hazel had felt a need to tell Princess about Tierra having lipo. Why Hazel? Okay. Now, the next thing that actually had gone on, there was a little showcase that Willie did where he was doing a little singing. I don't know if he did. Well, we seen him do part of one song, so I don't know how many songs he did, but he was showcasing some of his new stuff. Child, there wasn't nobody there but like 5 people. I said, cocaine mama. But when they first come in, we see, and it's done at one of Nikki's clubs. So it was Willie, Nikki, Fizz, and Shonda all were there. And that damn messy ass Nikki, she decides to start running her mouth and she starts talking about Shonda actually dancing at the club. Now I'm like, I have a hard time believing that Nikki didn't know that it was a situation with Shonda because of the schedule that she works. She knew that she's working like a part-time schedule and all that, and their friends. I know she told her that Nikki is messy as heck. So then once she spilled beans, they get up, they walk out, and they leave because they got to arguing. Shonda and Willie got to arguing, and Shonda basically cussed Willie's ass out. That's what she did. Got up and popped him. She got up there and mushed him in the face and went on outside and stood outside. Um, and it was ridiculous. It really was ridiculous. Then they show her later on. She's outside and she's crying and carrying on. I don't know what kind of cheap makeup that was, but it was just running and carrying on. I said, girl, please. Running everywhere. You see streaks running down her face. I said, where you get that foundation at, sweetheart? And don't buy no more. But just the same. So he goes out there. She apologizes to him. He apologizes to her. They go back and forth. He's telling her she didn't have to do that, and this, that, thing, and the other, that he's going to take care of it. Child, you wasn't taking care of nothing. You couldn't pay the damn cable bill. That blue screen told her she needed to go wrap herself around that pole, and that's what she did. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, I kind of understand that they're married and all that, but again, you knew who you had in the first place. And you're not innocent either because you were right up on the internet with your dick out, and it was free. Free. Them pictures came out way back when day 26 was hot. Well, it was up on there, honey. Said there was little ding dong out, honey, and the one picture here, come on his stomach. So those things were done, and you didn't get paid for it. So you're not innocent either. Willie, shut up somewhere and go sit down. Anyway, moving on. I'm sick of them too. I'm sick of their little storyline. Let her dance, honey. She needs to dance. Y'all need some money. And that little showcase that you did at Nikki's club, I'm sure it didn't bring any money in. You didn't get paid for that. Them 5 folks that was in there, child bye. And that wasn't nothing but done for the show. You are not making any money. I still say that your singing career is nothing but a hobby at this point. So keep it cute. Let her keep dancing so y'all can keep on eating. Just ridiculous. Anyway, so the next thing, and the whole biggest thing that actually took place, was this whole thing with the fashion show that Nikki and Tierra are supposed to be putting together. And this is when we actually got to see the real live shade. Tierra actually shows up, and they try to read and give, she don't have nothing but some paper patterns and all of this, and this, that, thing, and the other. Well, they were doing a model fitting and all that. So Nikki had no issue with the timing that Tierra was working in until here lately. Now all of a sudden you're trying to make it that you have this timing issue about Tierra and all of this, and then you're going on about her being selfish and having a surgery. But what does she need to do other than lay in the bed? Because she doesn't sew, she doesn't do patterns. Everything she needed to do, she could do from laying in that bed, and it didn't throw off anything she was doing. Nikki is responsible for models. Remember, that's what Nikki does. She has the place, she has bars and clubs, and she also does model. She has models. So tell me, where was it that Tierra wasn't doing the things that she's supposed to do? She was right on key with the things that she said she was going to do. You got old shady Milan, he's there, up in there. It was just a mess. Tierra really started figuring out everything that had happened. And basically, she tried, I don't know if y'all was paying attention, but she tried to bow out gracefully. She really did. She said, you know what, once she found out about the Hazel being there, she's like, okay, cool. But when she found out about Princess Love being a part of it, she tried to bow out. She said, you know what, it's fine. Everything's cool. We're not going to fight. We're not going to argue. I'm going to take my things and I'm going to go. I'm going to take my toys and I'm going to leave the playground. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. And that was the whole thing. Why didn't they just let her go? Because they didn't want her to be a part of it anyway. They were trying to push her out, but they wanted to push her out and they wanted to be dramatic. The girl tried to bow out. Now, she really did that. Y'all say what y'all want to say. But she tried to take the ladylike way out. Because, again, right now, she can't fight and she can't be doing all that. And Hazel knew it. And Hazel was just as about it and just as turned up and carrying on. And what was the whole purpose? What was the whole purpose? Now, why did you have to go? She said she don't want to be involved. That was the end of the conversation. The girl was trying to leave. Where'd you come from with all of this mess about Berg and her second dick in the alley? And Hazel was floor showing. I did not like it. It was not a good look. It was ugly. It was ugly. You basically came in, you forced her out. Mission accomplished. All this other stuff, all this wanting to show off on her and turning all up, you were showing off for the people. You see the people standing around watching the show. Oh, she was walking and she was just so tough and so about it. It was ugly. I didn't like it at all. It bothered me. Me and my mom was actually going back and forth. So my mom kept saying, well, Tierra ain't ready. I'm like, Mommy, Tierra is ready. See, y'all, they didn't even give Tierra a chance to not be ready. They give her a chance to be not ready. And you can see the proof in the pudding because next, well, here I go. You know, I don't usually talk about what's coming up, but what's coming up is next week, Tierra's going to storm their fashion show with her line of clothes that are already done. So wasn't Tierra dead on point? Because ain't she ready? And once I told my mother that, my mother was like, okay. I said, yeah. I said, you don't understand this. You don't understand. And most people don't understand this. Tierra does not do the manual labor. Honey, the manual labor, these people do these things in 2-3 days. They can throw together a whole line of clothes when you're dealing with manufacturers and things like that. And I said, you don't know what Tierra is sitting at no sewing machine. You know, come on now. And she's ready. They didn't give her a chance to not be ready. They just needed an excuse to do what they did and for Hazel to show out. It was ugly. It was ugly. It was shady. It was shady on Nikki's part and it was shady on Hazel's part. Ain't nobody even got time for it. But the one thing that I will say, Hazel knew that Tierra couldn't jump on her. So that's why she was cutting up the way she was. And when she turned around and told Hazel, fuck you, bitch, I hope you die today, I about fell on the floor. I said, Tierra is just as mean as a black rattlesnake. But I'm so here for it. Because that sounds some shit I'd have said. But anyway, I just didn't like that. You know, and even with all Tierra's shadiness and all that, that was ugly. That was very ugly. She didn't deserve that. She didn't. Not coming from them. And that Nikki, you're going to pay Nikki. You're going to pay. Somebody is going to really get you. Because you're always in something. Somebody going to get you. And like I said, I have to apologize to Carly Red because you ain't even on the level of Carly Red. You make Carly Red look like Michelle Obama. You are messy, messy, messy boots. But somebody going to get you. Somebody gonna get you, baby, and they're gonna shift all your work around, and you're gonna go from looking like the Norm Mattel Barbie to looking like Kilimanjaro. Keep on playing with people. It's gonna come back and bite you in the behind. But anyway, that's basically it. So thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys know how that all works. And I will actually catch up with you guys next Monday. All right. Bye, guys.